Hello, boys and girls. We are on lesson 8-5. Please make sure you have your workbook, your multiplication chart, paper, pencil, all good things when we're starting our math lesson. So go ahead and read the learning goal with me. I can find the product of two fractions. So product is one of our math vocabulary terms that's the answer to a multiplication problem. We have a factor times a factor that equals a product. Alrighty, go ahead and open your books to 349. And we are going to read through our solvent here. I'm going to let you try a little on your own, and then we will check all together. On Dan's e-reader, 2/3 of the books are fiction. Of the fiction books, 4/3 are mysteries. What fraction of the books on Dan's e-reader are mysteries? Solve this problem any way you choose. So go ahead and give it a try and then enter your answer below. Alrighty. So what I need to do for this problem, he has 2/3 of the books on his e-reader, or on the e-reader, are fiction. So if I want to draw a picture for this, I would look at my denominator and split it up into thirds first. So let's do. And so what you can visualize is this one would be a fiction, this one, fiction. Okay, this would be nonfiction, maybe memoir, something like that, but they wouldn't go there. So then of these fiction, just of this section, I don't want to find this section because that's not what I need. So now the other way, I'm going to split it into fifths. So I'm going to do my best to make it look okay. Yeah. I always run out of room by the end of it. Okay. So then 4/5 of the 2/3 are mystery books. I guess he really likes mysteries. So then I need to shade 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 5 here. So I'm going to go the other way. Okay, and so then my numerator is the overlapping black and purple here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 out of how many total? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 8/15 of the books on his whole e-reader are mysteries. However, we could have just done a multiplication problem. That's a great model. If that helps you visualize it, wonderful. But we can do 4/5 of our 2/3. 4 times 2, bada bing, bada boom, gives me 8. 5 times 3, 15. You get 8/15 either way. Again, that big difference when we multiply fractions from when you add and subtract is that your denominator does not stay the same anymore. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our virtual learning bridge. Visual learning bridge? Visual, sorry. And our essential question. So how can you find the product of two fractions? Let's go ahead and take a look at this word problem with Amelia. Amelia takes pictures with her smartphone. Of the pictures, 5, 6 are of animals. What fraction of all our pictures are dogs? You might be thinking, Ms. Collins, this problem doesn't give us enough information. And you would be right, except, we have to look next door. It says 3/4 of her animal photos are dogs. Of the animal photos. So we need to find 3/4 of 5, 6. And what does that of mean? Multiplication. So let's take a look down below. This sounds like Miss Collins' phone. Got a lot of dog pictures, guys. I really do. Okay, so step 1 here is they're estimating a little bit. So they rounded 3/4 to 1. And they rounded 5, 6 to 1. And that's because 3 out of 4, that's only one of the parts away from being one whole. 4 out of 4. 5 out of 6, that's only one of the parts away from being one whole. 5 out of 6 instead of 6 out of 6. So if I do 1 times 1, I get 1. So since both fractions are less than 1, the product will be less than 1 is what they're realizing. So when we round up to estimate here, and we're multiplying a fraction by a fraction less than 1, you know your answer is going to get smaller, which is a good estimate. And we'll be, since we rounded up, our answer is definitely going to be lower than that. Step 2, multiply the numerators and then multiply the denominators. So 3 times 5 gives me 15. 4 times 6 gives me 24. And then hit 1524 says less than 1. Again, we rounded up. We knew it would be right around there. And so what they need to do is simplify. So if we're simplifying, we need to think what number will go into both 15 and 24. So one way to do that is to list out your kind of rainbow factors, right? They're inside our numbers. So 1 and 15 multiply to 15. 2 and nothing, and I kind of just like to go up my numbers until they kind of close in. 3 and 5 multiply to get to 15. So then I can do this, and then 4 and nothing multiply to 15. So then I can do the same thing with 24. 1 and 24 multiply, 2 and 12 multiply, 3 and I'm blinking. 8. There we go. I wanted to do 6 because 4 and 6 also multiply. So out of all these little numbers here, these are all kind of close together, 3 is the one that they have in common. So I'm going to simplify the top and bottom by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So our simplified answer is 5/8. Okie dokie superstars, let's go ahead and take a look at some guided practice. We're on page 351. Please remember, while I am working up here on the board, you are working in your notebook. Should be writing these things down. Okay, so let's go ahead and just try a couple problems on here, and then I'll give you a couple to try on your own. Okay. So number 2, let's talk about that really quick. It says, how is adding 3/9 and 6/9 different from multiplying the two fractions? So when we're adding two fractions, so if we did 3/9 plus 6/9, we would do 3 plus 6 is 9 add a 9, and that equals 1 whole. So we get greater. But when we multiply 3/9 times 6/9, or we find 3/9 of our 6/9, I'm going to end up just multiplying the whole thing, and our fraction is actually going to get smaller because we're multiplying by a fraction less than 1, a part of the whole. So 3 times 6 would give me 18. 9 times 9 is 81. We can probably simplify both of those by 9. We definitely can. 18 divided by 9 is 2. 81 divided by 9 is 9. So we get 2/9 there. 1 whole is very different, much larger than 2/9, right? This would be, you know, it's almost, it would round down to 0 if we were rounding to it, and this is 1 whole. So it's on the opposite sides. We would not need 9 out of 9 pieces to make that equal. So when we're adding, we're combining and getting larger. But when we multiply a fraction by a fraction, it gets a little smaller. Okay. Our fraction less than 1. Let's go ahead and try a couple of these guys. Number 3 says 2/3 times 1/2. Well, 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Now, got to simplify. They're both even. That means they're divisible by 2. If I do 2 divided by 2, I get 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3, so 1/3. Let's go ahead and try number 5. 7 times 3 gives me 21. 10 times 4 is 40. I'm trying to think. So in 21, we'd have 1 and 21, 2, 3 and 7, 4, 5, 6. So I don't think 3, 7, 1 and 21 don't go into 40. So that's simplified down as much as it can go. If you want to do the little rainbow, numbers can be the clouds. Beautiful, huh? I am an artiste. No, I'm not. Okay. Let's try one more, and then I'm going to give you a couple to try on your own. So this says 5/6 of 3/7. We know that of means multiplication. 5 times 3 gives me 15. 6 times 7 gives me 42. And then if I'm looking at that with my 15, 1 and 15, 2, 3 and 5, kind of a flatter rainbow, 3, I think 3 will go into 42. So we can simplify this by 3. What I did is I put 3 to 33, then I went 36, 39, 42. So I just based it off of the numbers that I knew. So 3 times 11 is an easy one for me to do. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. And then 42 divided by 3, and you can always just come over and actually do it. So 3 times 1 is 3, bring that down. 3 goes into 12 4 times, we get 14. So 5/14 is a simplified version of that. Let's go ahead and try, number 4 right now. So you have 5/9 of 1/9. Okay, now that you're done with that one, let's go ahead and kind of check in on it. So 5 times 1 would be 5, 9 times 9 is 81. So 5/81. Let's go ahead and try number 10 down here, 3/4 times 2/9. And then we will talk about the rest in group.